Ah, now the sound is on. Okay, that should be better. Okay, fix the camera, fix the sound. Okay. Let me set up my screen so I can actually see people. Okay, move the chat bar over here. Okay. Keep it. Oof, not like that. Keep it on top of other windows. Okay. That is good. Okay. You probably can't, yeah, you can't see my screen right now, but that's fine. All right. Do we have people around here? So I was actually here last week, just didn't really announce it to the Fedora channels because I wasn't really doing Fedora stuff. Or maybe I was demoing some games on Linux, on Fedora in general, on Fedora in particular, because that's what I run. Hello everyone. What's this? Blinking button. Nothing that I need to take care of, that's good. Okay, let's wait a little bit for people to join. Okay. In the meantime, tea is brewing, so everything's fine. Okay, I hope the throughput is sufficient. Is there something that yeah, it looks like it's bumpy. Is my laptop, oh yeah, it's doing as much as it can right now. Even more than that. Looks like OBS is having a hard time encoding stuff. What's going on? Why are you having issues, OBS? What's that? Why are you taking up all my CPU? What exactly are you trying to do? Okay. Tell me if the video or the sound is correct on your side, please. CPU doesn't seem so bad on OBS apparently. It's like it's 50%. Okay, that's good. All right, let's say that it's correct. All right, let's get started then. Let me share a bit of my screen. There it is. Okay. All right, let me turn on some light as well. Okay. Do I want something more funky or? Woohoo. Yeah, that may be a bit too funky. Nah. Nah, not a big fan. What's that? Well, that is correct, I suppose. Okay. Okay, I'll keep it. All right. So all right, should be able to see everything. Okay, so there are new things that I should announce. Well, not really announce, but I don't know if you remember, but 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago maybe, I mentioned that we had some interesting projects in the Fedora infrastructure that have been regrouped. Here. On this page, on the wiki page, on the Fedora wiki page, infrastructure/projects. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So that's a few projects that would be helpful for the Fedora infrastructure. One of them is what I'm working on at the moment, Mirror Manager. I'm trying to revamp it a little bit. There's a lot of work. And there are things that anybody could pick up. If you want to work on badges, there's some work to do on that. Especially move it to Fedora messaging. I have started looking at that. I can help you if you want to take this on. I can totally help you do that. There's this easy fixes page that I think could be a very interesting application to write. And it would be very useful for a lot of people who have repositories scattered over different places. And that's the case of larger projects, such as distributions, for example. So it's very useful to Fedora, obviously. But it could be useful to other distributions. I mean, I'm pretty sure that other distributions have several projects and want to have a view of the good first issues or the easy fixes or any kind of tag actually that would span across different repos and different forges. So that would be a great project, I think, and I'm happy to help with that if you have questions and do some mentoring, or it's like you should have already written some sort of web application in Python. If that would be preferable, but if not, I can maybe guide you a bit through it. And there's a webhook to Fedora messaging gateway. And that's basically a backend application that is going to receive webhooks from applications on the internet, such as GitHub, for example, GitLab, such as Discourse, any application that does webhooks, and that's pretty common. And they would translate that to Fedora messaging messages on the bus, so that other applications in the infrastructure can react to that. It's also an interesting application because you would be touching APIs of various popular services out there, so that would be cool. Those two projects here, Easy Fixes and a webhook to Fedora messaging gateway, I have proposed as Outreachy internships. I don't know if you've heard of Outreachy, but it's a really cool program that matches interns from minority backgrounds, be it race or gender or other things, to projects that have things to be done that have larger organizations, I should say that have projects for them. And we've had quite a few outreach interns yet in Fedora, and it was always a good experience. It was always people who were eager to learn and to make progress and who produce valuable things as well. And some of them even stayed in the community afterwards, so it's really great. If you haven't heard of Outreachy, their website is outreachy.org. if you are yourself from a marginalized background, have a look at that, definitely. Maybe not for this round because it's a bit late in the game right now, but maybe in the next round, so December to March. All right, and of those two projects that I have submitted, we have the budget for only one, and we selected the webhooks to Fedora messaging gateway. Not because it's the most interesting one, but because that's the one that we need the most urgently in Fedora. The reason for that it's going to replace a few applications that are doing that on their own, and those applications have been written to run on RHEL 7. Some of them have been written to run on RHEL 7 and should be migrated. And instead of porting that to newer versions of Python and the other libraries we use, it makes sense to take this opportunity to group them into one single application that's going to do webhook to Fedora messaging. And as a result, we would have less code duplication here and there because they're all using Flask, they're all using Fedora messaging in some way, and so there will be less dependency maintenance, things to upgrade, less, making sure that the CI runs correctly, all that sort of tedious bits are going to be in only one project instead. So that would be cool. Very cool. All right, and I mentioned that because in the first phase of Outreachy, as an organization member, I will have quite a few interns candidating for the internship, especially because it's web applications. I should expect quite a few of them. Probably in the tens. I don't know yet. It's likely to be something between 5 and 15, maybe. I don't know. And the way that candidates prove themselves to organizations is not through their courses or their diploma or whatever they went through to get their knowledge. It is by contributions. So they are encouraged to find easy fixes, like things that they can, repositories that they can contribute to, and either take some tasks that have been lying there or propose things. So I will probably have to do quite a bit of reviewing in this phase. And in the end, we're going to select one applicant for the internship. And I'm mentioning all that because that means that our easy fixes page is going to be very useful for them. This page is the one that we want to redo properly with this easy fixes program, but at the moment that's what we have, and it has some tickets, all the tickets that have been flagged as easy fix or good first issue in Pygure or in GitHub. And it's all there, so it makes it easier for them to select one of them. And I can check out what the quality of the contribution is. So that's going to be interesting. I hope it's going to be interesting to them as well. I plan on doing the reviews properly, and so hopefully they're going to learn something. All right. So as a result, I'm not sure I should take tickets from there at the moment, because we want to flag as many tickets as we can as good first issues and easy fixes, so that candidates can pick from many of them. I'm going to still review what we have and maybe go through all the project and see if there are other tickets that we might want to add to this pool. So let me start with this. So Initia. So it's Michal who's responsible for Initia and the new hotness. but so I don't think I'm not going to touch that at the moment. I can have a look through. I can't really evaluate whether a ticket in Anitia is an easy fix or not at the moment because I don't really know its source code. So yeah, that would not be a great idea. Maybe there are things in Bodhi that could be labeled as easy fix, even though getting the entire environment set up for Bodhi is quite a feat. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's big. But yeah, I mean, why not? There's a ticket by Kevin recently. Oh, what is this about? Okay, yeah, definitely not an easy fix. You need to understand a lot of it. RFE, high gain, high trouble. Probably not something I would label as easy fix. Definitely not. All right, what's next? Yeah, that's a bit complex. OpenID based login broken. Yeah, I know about that, but that's a whole different thing. Body should reject builds done from SRC RPMs. It doesn't? Oh, interesting. Update links to Koji builds should not use Koji search. Okay, bleach is deprecated. Yeah, that's something that you could. Yeah, that's something that could be. I mean, I could look for the low trouble ones. We switch to ammonia and NH3 or HTML sanitizer. Okay, yeah, that's not trivial. Okay, what else do we have in low trouble? That's high trouble, no thank you. High trouble, nope. Yeah, let's keep body for now. Okay, what else? What do we have? Data grepper. Add a page to little. Yeah, that's something that could be done. It's not as trivial. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. But I mean, it's basically a page with a request to the database and display the result. It just needs to be. It just needs to have a lot of. It just needs to be strict with how far in the past it's going to look for topics because yeah, that could be a lot. But yeah, I'll keep that. That's definitely something that somebody, an intern could do, a candidate could do. Fast JSON, that's documentation. Let's keep it that way. Fedimage, I think that's going to be removed. It's definitely deprecated. I don't know when it's going to be removed, so no. Fed message, that's definitely deprecated and going to be removed. Okay. Fedora messaging. Yeah, that's something that could be. I think I opened that ticket. I can't remember it. Anyway, FMN. Oh, this one has been open for a while. Yeah, I think that's a question that requires an answer from the reporter. That's why. Anyway, that's all. Yeah, if someone wants to work with TypeScript, that's going to be definitely the place to look at. Okay. Tarrier, okay. Yeah. Drive the fallback, okay. Badger server, fine. Let Fed message. Yeah, that's one that's been. Yeah, this is also something that I'm going to leave here because. Yeah, that's something that an intern could try to have a look at. Yeah, this is waiting for the move to rel 9 on the main entry server, sorry. reveal. Moat, yeah, that Moat has a lot of interesting things that could be looked at by an intern, a candidate. Interesting. That's a bit too recent for me to suggest it. Okay. What I have, there's something that I have done recently that could be of interest to community people who are coming to this stream. I have started to look at how we could port the existing badges software. So that's Tarrier, the web interface, and Fedbadges, the backend application, like the consumer application. How we could port those to Fedora messaging. It's kind of a big task, but I think it's worthwhile. I think it's worthwhile investigating it and see if that can be done easily or not. You know what? I think I'm going to delve into that right now because I think it has value. It's going to show you how you port an application from FedMessage to Fedora messaging, even though there shouldn't be so many applications left. But it would be applicable as well to how you use Fedora messaging in an application, especially a consumer. Okay, let me find where I could work on that. Okay, so there's that. That's Mirror Manager. I'm not going to touch it right now. I'm going to open another one. Let's make it... yeah, that way. Okay. Okay. Let us open a folder. So Fedora. I think it's in apps that I've put it. Yes, Fedbadges. Not to be confused with Fedora badges, which is an entirely different thing. No, not an entirely different thing, but Fedora badges are actual badges, like our repository of actual badges for Fedora. And while Fedbadges is the consumer, it's a distribution agnostic consumer, I should say, even though we're the only ones using it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. So I have made changes already to that because I wanted to try and port it. Quite a few of them, actually. Oh, .vagrant is not ignored. Let's fix that. Okay. Okay, that should help get rid of all that. So, at the moment, we have Fedbadges is pretty simple. I'm a bit afraid that it's using APIs that are outside of it and that are FedMessage specific. So, right now, the consumer is this thing. It has a lot of FedMessage specific things in there. I have rewritten something in this consumer module here. It's quite different. Topic here is entirely wrong, obviously. That's not part of the API for Fedora messaging. So it does some threading locks that I'm not sure we should keep in Fedora messaging, because in Fedora messaging, your consumer is pretty much guaranteed to be running in its own thread. So what we could do, so we don't have a lot of locking to do. It's all done for us already by Twisted, actually. So I have kept this, even though I don't think we're going to need that. Maybe we did. Maybe we do. Here there's this initialize Badger connection that's going to create a client for Badger server. And I think we can keep that yeah, we don't need to thread protect it. We can keep that as an instance of the class. It doesn't have to be thread specific. It's not like it's a regular HTTP client, I think. Okay, just an HTTP API client. What else do we do? Initialize data number connection. That's definitely something that needs to be thread protected, and I think that that's what the data number models.init method does, but I can check. I should check. So data number is in, so there's data number.models and data number models, I think it's in inits. Yes, that's the one. Okay, it does a create engine, that's good. And it runs session.configure. Okay, what's session? Session is a scoped session. That's perfect. That's the only thing that I wanted to check. I wanted to check that it was a scoped session. In SQL Alchemy, a scoped session is a thread is protected. Well, is a session that will be thread specific, right? They are isolated by threads, so it should be all good. So this is, in theory, this should be thread protected. So that creates a session in data number itself. That's good. That's what we want. Okay, then there used to be an initial star connection that's been dropped by accessing Badger the Badger client instead of the database directly. And then there's load badges definition. Okay, so the configuration is no longer in the hub. In the hub here, it's in self.config get. So it's not badges YAML directory. Let me show you the configuration file is that's here, and it's just called badges directory. All right. So badges directory, and the reason why it defaults to badges YAML dir is I don't know what it is. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm just gonna expect it to be set, right? I don't want to have a default if the default is weird. All right, so then it loads the badges from the YAML in the directory. Okay, that's good. Let me close that so you have more room on the screen. Okay, what's this function? Self badges from YAML. Badges from YAML. Okay, I don't need to touch that. It should be good. That's nothing Fedora specific in there. That's good. Load badges from YAML. Fine. Award badges. Award badge. Okay, that's good. Badge rule.client, badge class. Assertion exists. Okay, the call here is, oh yeah, that's wrong. Where is Fedora messaging.config? Okay. Or API, maybe API message, right. The call to this function is actually going to be a message instance. Okay, so what do? First, we sleep a little bit. It's a bit weird, but the reason we do that is that we are going to check things in data number for, I don't know, for like how many times you have committed a package, for example, or how many times you have built a package, or, you know, lots of things. And we want all the messages to have been processed by data grepper, by data number first. So we sleep a little bit. Okay, then what is this? Create a link to the message that we just received in data grepper. Oh yeah, that's what we could do. I mean, we could poll it. We could poll data grepper to make sure that the message is actually there. But that would be a lot of requests because we're doing that on each incoming message for, yeah, pretty much everything. That's going to be, yeah, no, we don't do that. That's going to be a lot of requests to that tag wrapper. It's not going to handle that. We could definitely make it, since we have a connection to data number, we could make a SQL search in there, make sure we have it. But that, no, we don't do that. That would be actually preferable to sleeping. It will be a backoff enabled function that would be just making a query in, just making a query in that number and checking that the message has been received. Let's write a to-do. That's probably preferable. And we can wait for, we can wait a second or two. It doesn't matter if the badge isn't awarded instantly after all. Okay. Define this so we can refer to it in error handling below. Yeah, the problem with sleeping, is that going to be a problem? Because if we sleep on each incoming message, if we sleep on each incoming message, I'm not sure we're going to be able to receive tons of messages. So there used to be a mechanism in data number, in Fedmessage, in Fedbadges, where it would look at the size of its queue in Fedmessage, and if the queue was big enough, then it wouldn't wait, because it assumes that with a big enough queue, everything has been processed by data number already. That is not correct, because if we have a lot of message in the queue, it's fair to assume that data number already also has a large number of messages in the queue, because it's subscribed to the same things, which is every message. So I'm not sure we can optimize it that way. We don't want to. What we could do is only do that if there is something, if it matches something. See what I mean? If we are going to award a badge, if we are going to make some checks, well, how do we know? How would we know, right? That's kind of tricky. It is kind of tricky. Because if every message takes 2 seconds to be awarded, with the amount of message that we get, for example, if I have a rule that says I'm awarding this badge if there's 5 commits to this Git, for example. And I'm getting this message. So I want to check in data number if there are 5 commits to this Git already for that user. Let's say that data number doesn't have this message already yet. Oh, I could check it. I could check the existing amount. I could check the existing messages and check if the message that I'm receiving is one of them. That would be nice. And if it's one of them, then I just use that count. And if it's not in there, then I just increase the number to 1. That would be nice, right? That would work, I think. Yeah, okay, so to do, scratch that. check if the current message is in the matched messages when querying yeah, I'll understand myself. But is that the only use case? I don't know. We need something a little bit smarter than just sleeping, I think. For now, we are here only to port that to Fedora messaging, so we don't do a lot of optimization along the way because that would be too long. We don't have that sort of time. Okay. Get Terrier client. Okay, what's the get Terrier client? I suspect that's not, no, that's not get, we don't want get Terrier client. We want the Badger client. Yeah, we've commented that out. Okay, award every badge as appropriate. Okay, that it seems simple. I mean, you go through the badges rule and you call badge rule.matches with the body of the message and you award the badge. I'm actually not sure we should do that because if you do message.body, you don't get the topic. We should just pass the entire message. That changes the signature, but I mean, that's expected. All right, so badge rule.matches is the main function. So what's badge rule.matches? It's something that comes from this class here. Ooh, there's old things in there. Anyway, wow, badge rule, that's the one. Okay. Required.union, what's that? Required? Is that a library? Didn't see that. Oh, okay, that's the frozen set just above. Okay. Okay, required, okay, the union, okay. Yeah, that's from the time where we didn't have sets in Python, I think. That's fine. Frozen set. Banned usernames, we don't award badges to those, of course. Actually, if I'm doing something simple such as never award a badge to those, I could do that earlier in the process. Yeah, let's not worry about that right now. Okay, so we have a lot of functions in there. This get too fast. Right, that's not great. That's not great because it won't work on staging. This here, GitHub too fast, okay. Yeah, I suppose that works. I suppose that works. Same thing for OpenID too fast. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's just run it. Let's just not look at that right now. Am I still importing something from Fedmessage? Yes, I am. Okay, so fedmessage.config, what's that? It's here. Okay, make processors. This goes away. This is not relevant anymore. So that's gone. Fedmessage.meta. Okay, so we have something called message to usernames, and that's not how you do things anymore in Fedora messaging. In Fedora messaging, you have a message here that comes in. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna identify this as Fedora messaging .message API, I should say. Right, this incoming message here that I am calling matches with is a message from Fedora messaging. Okay. So I have something called if not served.trigger.matches. Okay, that's a lightweight. Oh, that's pretty cool. To check in the message about. Okay, that's good. That's good because that's gonna help us optimize things. That said, I could have done that earlier in the. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine. Same thing. Recipient key. What's that? Recipient key. Yeah. Construct substitutions. I'm not sure what that is, but it'll have to change because it doesn't get the same. Oh, Fedbadges.utils. Okay, I'm gonna look at that later. Or should I do it now? Maybe I should. Anyway, fedmessage.meta. That's not how you get usernames. You get usernames now by calling msg.usernames. All right. Also, this is wrong. Okay, am I calling this class, this badge rule, that class with badges dict, badger client, and issue ID? I think it's a bit more complex than that, right? Because I have this, how am I? Right, my badge class client. Was my badge rule? No, that's not the one. Was loading badges from YAML? That's the one. And then I have, okay, badge rule. Okay, fedbadges.rule, badge. Okay, that's the one. Badge, Fedbadger, and issue ID. Okay, I may need to have something to have my configuration in there. I think that would be preferable, but it's not. Let's see if I require it. Let's not add dependencies if we don't need them. Okay, so nothing in the chat, that's fine. These function here, let's revisit them. There's nick too fast. Okay, yeah, that's definitely wrong. I think in utils I have added something. Yes, nicks too fast is this. Let me import that from nick too fast takes nick and a config. Why does it take a config? Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? So we are looking at Fedbadges at the moment and trying to guess how hard it would be to port it to Fedora messaging instead of the old Fed message, because it can't run after June because then RHEL 7 is going to be end of life. That's going to be there's going to be a lot of dependencies that will need to go away at that point. Well, let me check my repo here. Do I have, sorry, where's my, did I create a virtual environment already? Maybe I didn't. Well, it's fine now. In fact, it's fine for now. So yeah, we need to either port badges to Fedora messaging and Python 3 and all the stuff, or drop it. And I know a lot of people in Fedora are like badges and they would be unhappy if we do that. I'm Question is, am I coming to the States for Flock to Fedora in a few months? At the moment, I do not think I'm going to do that. I'm trying to limit the amount of air travel that I do, and going to the States from France is a long trip. Thankfully, it's the East Coast, so it's not horrible, but it's still a long flight. And I'm trying to limit. So I'm trying. Hey, that's wrong. Ends with an S. I'm trying. No, that's right. I'm trying to limit the amount of air travel that I do in my free time. I mean, for holidays or for vacations. And so if I want to be a little bit coherent, I should do that anywhere. So I'm considering not going there. Also, we have limited budget in my team, so it will free up budget for other people to go there, other people who are closer, and which will be less wasteful. I would really like to go. I mean, I enjoyed it before. Flock conferences were great, and I would love to see the friends in Fedora again at that for this occasion. But yeah, not sure it's very reasonable. It's not. I haven't really decided definitively on that yet, but it's unlikely. It's very unlikely. I would really feel bad for the entire trip if I went there and just like for a few days, and it's doing this sort of trip, like crossing to the US for like 4 days and then flying back to Europe. I think this will seem entirely crazy 20 years from now, and we should probably start with the good habits as soon as we can. We've already waited long enough. So yeah. Also, I have a hard time with jet lag, so it's probably going to take me 3, 4, maybe 5 days to to catch up with the jet lag, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to be sleepy all the time. Yeah. So I need my config here because I need the connection to FastJSON. So here I should not create a FastJSON session every time I'm calling this, because it's pretty expensive. There is Kerberos negotiation involved. So I would really prefer having that in the consumer itself, right? So I'm going to set that up in here. Self.fastjson equal get fastjson config from with self.config as a parameter, right? And get fastjson config comes from utils, I suppose, because it wasn't underlined before. So right, and now that I have my fastjson session, I'm going to pass that as a dependency to my badger class, my badger rule class, which is created here. So I have the badger client, I have the issuer ID, and I'm adding the fastjson client, which means that I need to add that to my class, of course. And store that. Okay, so I have this now, and I can pass that to my nick2fast function. But but I probably should also pass the configuration, right? My nick here, I have this here. Am I using it for anything else? I'm not. I mean, my first JSON session could have the base already stored somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So I have this session here. I could set the base session. I think I can do that in requests. Let me check. I think you can, in request, you can set a base URL. So let me look at the requests API, the session API. No, that's not the one. I want my session. There it is. Okay. Get headers, params, posts, put, rebuild, requests. I thought I would be able to do that. Can't I have a base URL in a request session? I thought it would be capable of doing that. No. Break on the let, no. Base adapter, no. Maybe I was wrong. That's a bit too bad. That's a bit too bad. Oh, that's fine. I'll just pass my arguments around. Okay, so I have now, so my consumer, okay, I pass this, I'm passing this. I have this badge here that I have loaded. I should probably pass the configuration as well. So I'm going to pass it first. Self.config, self.fastjson. That's one more argument. Let's add it here. Config. Okay, so now I have this configuration and I can try to do the too fast, etc., etc. All those things, they will need a configuration as an argument, and that's what they do. That's good. So here I'm going to replace that. So Nick too fast, definitely not imported from Fedora Meta Infrastructure Fast Shim, blah blah blah. That's gone. This one as well, gone. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? When I go back to a language that uses semicolons at the end, I'm always like, why would I need that? I'm going to indent my code anyway. So, yeah. So what's your favorite? What's your usual language, Lesap? I know it has become kind of a standard, but to use semicolons. Yeah, I don't need to do that sanity check. Same for this one. Scientific computing C++ an hour. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know about R. Do you need do you have semicolons also at the end, or? It's surprising that you haven't used Python for scientific computing. I thought it was pretty popular in scientific computing. Just never had a need for it. My knees were rolling me. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, once you know it well, once you know your tool well, it's all good. Do you see a lot of people moving to Rust instead of C++ in the scientific computing world? because it's definitely picking up from what I see in the open source world in general. So it's not fed message config, it's here. I'm not refactoring all code or anything, but I've been learning Rust, and my future performance course will be Rust, I have to say. Yep, that makes sense. I'm currently working on Mirror Manager, which is a pretty cool application, I should say, well, functionally, in Fedora that lets mirror admins register their mirrors, declare what part of the Fedora repositories they want to mirror, for which architectures, etc. And it will then redirect people who are looking for Fedora mirrors to their mirror if they are closest from a network point of view. Like it looks at the BGP tables, etc., etc. So it's really cool. But the part that all the DNF clients in the world are connecting to is very sensitive to performance, and it has been rewritten in Rust recently just to perform better. And it does work. It's pretty cool for that. However, the Mirror Manager code is very old. It's been sort of expanded upon something that was written in the middle of the 2000s, probably 2007 or 8, and then it had been rewritten into Mirror Manager 2, that's in Python, but it still kept a lot of the things that were there before, and it's old and rusty, and not rusty in the sense of the language, of course. It's very old, and it's so old that very few people understand how it works, and a lot of people who needed it to do different things have bolted things upon it to make it work in different ways. Like I have found scripts in the Ansible repositories of Fedora that will make database queries to something else and generate arguments for Mirror Manager, because we didn't want to teach Mirror Manager to do those requests because nobody wanted to touch that. And there's a part in Mirror Manager that updates its database with the primary mirror. So it looks at the primary mirror, looks at some specific files, gets the MD sums, like the SH8256 sums, stores that in the database, etc. It runs. That's a simple run. Runs on our servers only. And the person who wrote the mirror list component, the one that needs performance, also decided to rewrite that part in Rust because the part that was in Mirror Manager was too complex. So it's been rewritten in Rust, and now we are having problems with it, and there's few people who know how to write Rust code. So so it's tempting to rewrite things in Rust when you want to do new things, but like sometimes it's a bit too tempting. Our people like myself, software developers, we have a big problem, and that's we enjoy writing code. And sometimes we should refrain from doing that. Sometimes the refactoring are not always relevant, or like it should have been refactored or rewritten maybe, but maybe not in a language that fewer people understand. Anyway, that's a different story. I've made good progress on Mirror Manager, though. I think it's going to be much more maintainable after my pass on it. But I've been at it like 2 months already. So, and hopefully my end goal is to make Mirror Manager usable by other distributions, because like no other distribution has that, it's really cool. It's really cool from a feature point of view. It's really useful. Right now it's riddled with Fedora specific things, and yeah, it's really not really usable outside. But yeah, I'd like to change that if I have the time to do it. That's a big if, because we're a bit we're a bit rushing to get all the RHEL 7 specific applications rewritten or ported. So not sure I'll have the time, but I would like to do that one day. And hopefully it's going to be useful for other distributions, probably OpenSUSE, probably all the RPM-based distributions, but maybe even Debian or Ubuntu or whatever. We'll see. Okay, what was I? Yes. So I have these functions that were using Fedora messaging, Fed message meta, Fedora infrastructure. And I've gotten rid of them. That's good. Now those here use an exploded config dictionary. That's really not necessary. Yeah, that's... Yeah, okay. So actually those functions, they need the configuration all right, but they will also need the fastJSON client. So I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to make them use fastJSON instead of building it, because that's too expensive. Yeah, let's try to avoid typos. Okay, which means I need to call them differently. And same thing for here. I mean, I understand that you want to have the same signature everywhere, but really, I'm not sure that's necessary. GitHub to fast here needs config, but it also needs fastJSON client. Did I put it first or second? Second. Same thing for here. Oh, it's not using the config. Let's not pass it. Same for you. Okay. So now I need to match those calls. So nick to fast needs the config and it needs... Okay, yeah, fastJSON is it something that I passed as a dependency? Yes, it is. Okay, that's all good. I'm gonna add that to email to fast because I need it. Oh, by the way, here when I'm calling nick to fast, so I need to pass fast. Right, I need to pass that here, otherwise I'm gonna forget it. Same thing for OpenID to fast. So OpenID to fast, if I remember correctly, doesn't need the configuration, right? Yes. Hey. Yeah, that's wrong. Get fastJSON session, that's a big nope. So OpenID to fast doesn't need the configuration. That's good. GitHub to fast needs the configuration, and I think it needs the fastJSON client. Right. Dist-git to fast, does it need anything? I think it's just a regex. Yes. And same thing for Kerberos to fast. Dist-git to fast. No thank you. Kerberos to fast, same stuff. Okay, we're all good. Do we have other calls of these functions? No, we don't. Okay. Okay. Ah, yeah. User existence fast. That is probably wrong. I expect that, yeah, it needs a session. Okay, so I expect that to need a fastJSON client as well. Why do I always forget this S? That's terrible. Okay, I'm passing that down, so it's now self.config and self.fedbadges. Yeah, it's not great. I should have some class that does all this conversion because it's okay. Let me take just a couple seconds because I'm making a lot of typos, and the reason for that is that I need to go to the toilet. I'll be back. Yeah, I should use a better waiting page because this is the waiting one is not great. Let me duplicate that. Can I do so can I do let me do something else in here. Okay. Let's say I want to center that. I'm so bad with OBS. Yeah. Okay. Now let's make that a little smaller and center it. Yeah, that's not centered. Definitely not centered. Okay, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be sufficient. Okay, yeah, so I have this posed thing now. That's good. Anyway, let me get back to that. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay. Seems straightforward. You don't need to do that actually, log that exception. You need to put any message and it's gonna catch the exception anyway. That's fine. Okay, so, oh no, please, no. Okay. All right. This is old Python 2 code. Anyway, that's fine. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not going to change anything in there besides change the signatures of the function. That said, I really don't need that. Is that still Python 3 compliant? Meta class equal. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Abstract comparator. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Right, but is it right? It's making calls to data number.message.grep. Right. Is this still valid? Or did we change the data number API in any way? Is it still model.grep? Message.grep? Yep, it's still there. Okay. All right, that's a bit okay. That's fine. Irrelevant frozen subdefar. I really don't know why they do that. Okay, that makes sense in some way. Okay. Okay. I don't think I need to touch any of that. Oh wait, matches. Construct query. Yeah, this is the new message format. So I expect all that to be probably wrong. I'm passing it down to construct query and format lambda operation. Construct substitutions, that's construct tree and construct substitutions. Okay, that's good. Recursive lambda factory. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, MSG, that's dot topic. Yes. That's not fantastic, really. I mean, really? So, MSG. An attribute is going to be what? Category or lambda? No. What is this? How could the message have a lambda or category attribute? Okay, that's maybe, okay, that's, okay. What's self.attribute? Oh, okay. Self.attribute either topic or category. Okay, good. So, we know that it's not category because that's here, right? So here we are about the topic. Let me, yeah, okay, let me make another exception here, another case. If self.attribute equal topic, sorry, topic, then oh, right. Then we are talking about return msg.topic that ends with expected value. Else raise runtime error. Right. Let's just ignore. So it's supposed to accept only topic and category, right? Oh no, union operators. What's operators? Wow. Wow, I don't really understand what's going on here, to be honest. Okay. So what does my comparator? Okay, I need to look into this to understand what's going on. Argued fields. What does, well, first, you know what? I'm going to look at what a badge definition looks like. Because that's, yeah. Rules, okay. What do we have? Okay, let's look at, I don't know, wordsmith? Okay, so it has name, description, creator, description, yeah? Okay. The trigger is all of topic or any lambda. Oh yeah, that's gonna go wrong. Okay, that's gonna be terrible. Okay, you know what I could do? I could reconstruct a message that would be, yes, I think that's a better idea. I could reconstruct a message that would be Fedora message, that would be fed message similar to what fed message used to have. Huh. Yes. Okay. I'm not gonna, I don't want to edit all of the rules here. That's gonna be a bit too big. Query.all, what's that? Wow, okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow, okay. Trigger on track.get job received, that's definitely not gonna happen. So all of the rules, so I have two options. I either construct a message that will look like what Fedmessage used to create, and I can avoid touching all the rules and just keep it running. Or I make use of the new Fedora messaging message API. It's going to be cleaner because there's this usernames definition that comes with Fedora messaging messages. And but that requires changing pretty much all the rules, because that's definitely going to need to change, like getting MSG from MSG, that's nope, it's going to change. That's, yeah. That would be a lot of editing. And then again, maybe not so much, because I mean, that's 200 things to edit. Some of them are going to be simple. I mean, it could be done in like a day. So, probably means a different API. You can pry. What's that, for example? Oh. Okay. We have to add FC30 when it goes end of line. Okay, yeah. And maybe 31 as well, and 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37 also. Yeah, yeah. 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 I mean, it's fun, right? So. It's going to be a lot of editing. In theory, like moving to Fedora messaging would mean, in theory, it would mean updating all the APIs, not creating a. But it's work. It's a lot of work. Okay. Can I reasonably do that? Because this is a bit too smart. Right? What's attribute here? I trigger on topic and category. That's possible. What's possible? Yeah. Right, so you can have data number. Why is it specialized? What that's? Yeah, okay. Matches, operator lookup, sublet attribute. Okay, child matches, MSG. If there's children. Right. And how do you know if there's children? I'm a bit out of my depth here. Oh, that's definitely wrong. That's what I wrote. So yeah, the topic here is different. And expected attributes of that attribute. It's either lambda category or topic, right? Because union lambdas. Donc so what is lambdas? Just lambda. Okay. Union operator. So it could be all, right? It could be all, any or not. That's my trigger. It's actually pretty smart. I mean, it's well designed. There's something that were well designed there. Because here, if my trigger is like all, I'm gonna raise an error. What was here before? I mean, it's probably going to catch the all and any, right? Operators, okay. Operator lookup. Yeah, it's catching those. And it's building children with those. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I think it's fair to expect nothing but topic and category here. Because it has operator and it has lambdas, but that's fine. What about you? So that's one of the MSG. I still need to look at this single argument lambda factory here. I will, in time. Construct query. It does construct, yeah, that's not sure about that one. Construct substitutions. I need to check that. Right. Still this construct substitutions thing. Okay, so I expect all the changes to be in here then. Okay. Whew. Okay, that's gonna be bigger. Okay, so that's MSG. That's an... This thing is fm api.message. I know it. For key in message, that's wrong. In message body. If is instance, if it's a dict, then I get the substitutions. Okay, construct, okay. Construct substitutions. Okay, so definitely replace that with, but I'm calling construct substitutions again. Okay, so I can't do that. I need to pass the body then. Right, so MSG has to be a body. Right, because it's calling itself recursively. Okay, so who calls construct substitutions? It is called here, where I need to pass the body. And it's called in here, I need to pass the body as well. It's called in here. Okay, that said, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to... Wait, it's recursive? If it's a dict, then Okay, so your substitutions have a dot in there. Wow, okay. Ah, that's why you have those. Ah, okay. That's why you can have that. Message.comic.username. Okay. That's why you get those. Or when I was looking at this one, I would have msg.comic.username. Right. Then msg. So it should be prefixed by msg, right? Because each msg has msg subkey. Okay. I'm going to change something here. For all those subs, instead of creating key1, what is it doing here? Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Okay, so when I call construct substitution, when I call it here, I need to call it this way. Okay, that's the right way to call it. Then I'm gonna have my MSG top key. Same stuff goes here. It's a bit weird, but let's say it's a compatibility layer. Okay. I might be able to keep compatibility with this. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Format args. Yeah, it doesn't take a message, so that's fine. Single argument lambda factory. Ooh. Compile, really? Wow. Okay, that seems risky. Argument is MSG, name is MSG. So what is it? What is this thing really? Name expression, that's fine. Wow. Name is okay. Okay, name is MSG. Really? An expression is going to be what's in the... Okay, so the lambda takes MSG. Okay, and that's the argument that is going to be passed on. I think that's wrong. And I think that for the same reasons here, yeah, I think that's wrong. Okay, so my single argument lambda factory here, the argument is not going to be that, it's going to be MSG, MSG. For this exact same reasons. My rules expect everything to be under an MSG key. Yes. Oh, and that's for data number. Okay, so data number has a query. That's fine because that doesn't change. Okay. Ooh, actually, some of this code is pretty smart. I have nothing to don't have nothing to say about it, but there are things that are pretty smart and pretty concise and not repeating itself many times, which is good. So well done on those who designed this API. Okay, cool. Oh, that's wrong then. Recursive lambda factory. Okay, arg name equal value, and that's pretty much the same thing. So I just need to change my arg. Where is it called? Right here. MSG, definitely not MSG, but MSG. Oh, but no, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. That's definitely not that. It's body. Right? Yeah. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. I've been wrong. That said, I hope they are not looking for the topic. It's gonna be big, but let's try it. So are they doing something like msg.topic somewhere? I'm not so sure. Let's grab for msg.topic. See if we get something. No, we don't. Let's hope that's gonna be fine. Or that, and look for MSG. There isn't any. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit safer about that. Okay. So recursive lambda factory takes this graceful, that's different. Yeah, that's. Oh, that was never really called. Anyway. Back off, okay. Notification callback. This isn't defined. Well, that's not good. Right, okay. Okay. I would like to try to run that. But it will need access to the data number database. I'm gonna try to run that in staging, I think. I don't see any other way. If I do that, then I will need all the .fedoraproject.org URLs to be in the configuration. Not something that I need, but you. Yes, this git too fast, that is wrong. Okay, let me put that in the configuration. This git URL equal, well, it's not really URL, right? It's this git host because everything should be HTTPS, right? Meh. Let's just put it as a host name here. So this git too fast needs a config actually. And that's gonna be right here. Okay, I think that this is correct. This get host name, this get host name. Okay. Yes, save it. Thank you. This get host name. Okay, so this get too fast actually needs the config. Save it. Okay. Do I have other non-staging compatible URLs around? No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah. Really? OpenID? I don't think I'm gonna get OpenID anymore anyway. I'm going to just assume that there might be an STG here. So that's going to be a non-capturing group. I think that's the thing. .stg. Okay, let's work with... I should have done that with the other one, by the way. This get host name. I could have done that with this. Nah, that's fine. That's fine. Or does RE have some way to escape the dots, escape a string? I think it does, right? I think the RE module has something for that. So, oh, I had it here. The RE module, I think it has a way to escape things. Escape. RE.escape, that's perfect. Ah, that's exactly what I want. Yes, RE.escape, that's perfect. Okay, so let's have something like this for I don't know how to call that. ID provider, first name. id.fedorproject.org. So I can do... Oh, that was actually true as well. Escape. Because that's in a regular expression, right? ID provider name. I'll definitely leave the config here, and then I can do dot ID provider hostname. Okay. And I was saying, and I need the configuration here. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. That's not good. Okay, we're getting there. So all this is going to be, okay, well, runnable in staging now. Maybe some things that I haven't checked. So we have, that's good. Default data grabber URL. Oh yeah, that's the default one. Do I need that somewhere? Oh yeah, that's defaults. Really? I mean, I should just crash if I don't have that, right? Let's just crash. Let's just ask the user to give us defaults, to give us, to configure the application and stuff, relying on defaults. Yeah, that's definitely something that needs to stay. What's that? Default equal, okay. Oh yeah, that's bad. Where is that? Oh, consumers, that's the old file. Okay, old file. I have this, that's good. Email. Good. I think that's all. Is that everything that I need to run that in staging? That's a good question, actually. I am still unsure about this Badger server thing, but I can go with this. This is not necessary anymore. Thank you. It shouldn't be necessary here as well. Well, except that's where it's defined. Okay, so very smart. Well done, well done. Okay. I think I'm gonna try and run that in staging and see where it explodes. Whew. Okay. That said, it's 5 and I'm gonna stop here and see if I get something better. If I can get something else working next time. I'm gonna try and run that before next week and see if we can get something running. Thank you, Lisa, for being here, and have a good evening as well. I'll see you next time. See you, everyone. All right, let me close all that. It was nice. I think we got somewhere that we have a better idea of how much work it is to port badges to Fedora messaging, and it's more than I thought, but it's not horrible. So let's fingers crossed I don't find a box of a can of worms hidden somewhere. All right, I'll see you next time. Have fun.